Hello everyone, I am finally sitting down. I think the last time that I sat down to record, it was the month of February. So it has been a very long time, but let's do this. I feel like today's a celebration. I haven't sat down to record in so long, it's crazy. But I did want to kind of give an update on my system and what I'm planning for 2025. I'm really excited. I am so excited for 2025, guys, because my system this year has been a struggle. It's not that I haven't kept up. Everything is full. My Hobonichi weeks is very full with all the things. But I believe I mentioned this in my last video where I really believe that I screwed up this year when I was like, I'm not going to do a mega. But it's okay. It's okay because I feel like my system this year has not really been great or has worked for me, but I've stuck with it because I'm kind of just like, you know what, let me stay with what I know is not being the best for me, just because I need to know what's not working in order for me to be like, okay, I'm gonna zero in on it and this is gonna be my system for 2025. All right, so for me, I love the Hobonichi weeks. I've said this multiple times. I love the Hobonichi weeks. Last year, let me backtrack for a second, but I haven't been a long form journaling in years. For years, I haven't done it. Last year was the first year where I did this. I had the standard and I journaled in the back pages, which worked for me. And this year I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a separate journal. And I guess I can show you guys the month of July, right? And what I did with this journal, this is a pre-made journal by a company called Coco and Lynn. What I did with this journal is I tracked books in the monthly view. This just gets transferred over from my Hobonichi week, so I actually don't like habit track in here. I just transfer over information at the end of the month. And then this mood tracker I just did for fun because the book has it. I don't mood track in my Hobonichi weeks, and I've never mood tracked, and I probably won't ever do it again after this year. And then this is what I do in the weeklies, right, where I just take a little bit of journaling every single day. And this has worked for me in terms of I like journaling every single day, but this is the problem. This book has turned out to be a lot of work, and I love this book. I physically love this book, but filling out this book every single day, writing every single day, because I'm not a journaler, I'm not a long form journaler, but I feel like I've cultivated the habit where I enjoy writing a little bit every single day. But what was happening with my Hobonichi weeks in the back pages, where I do like the highlights of the month, and I guess I can show you guys. Let's see, right? Let's see, June. Right, these are like the highlights of the month. I go back here and I use photos and everything. Is that a lot of times these entries I'm like copying and pasting because I've already written about them. So it's like I don't feel the need to like, okay, let me think again about, well, we're more highlights of the month. I already have everything written down. And then what is happening is that I just take information from the green book and I put it here and I print out pictures. And I've been using way more pictures this year than I did last year. Like almost every spread has about four pictures or more. Just a lot of pictures, and it's really making the back chunkier than it did last year. So I have a couple of problems. It's been redundant ever since I recorded my last video. It's been completely redundant, the whole writing here and rewriting in the back. So that I hate. And it's just not fun. Copying, I'm not someone that enjoys copying down information in two separate books. And then the second thing was that I've noticed that my weeklies are just really, I became a note taker this year, which is different than last year. I wish I had my Hobonichi weeks of last year to show you guys, but last year, well, I can show you the beginning of this year because I started off pretty much the same, right? This is how my year started off, where I would just like write down the to-dos of the day I wasn't really taking notes, but somewhere along the year, I really started filling up my weekly view with notes that I would take throughout the day. Probably, let's say around here, right? And you'll see that my weekly views become much fuller because I'm taking notes throughout the day. And in the month of July, I ended up, I love this, and I love the way the weeklies look full, right? But what's happening is that a lot of times, because I have such a small space for the day and my back pages are like taken, so to speak, with, oh, that's where the highlights of the month go. What's happening is that a lot of times information gets omitted every single day because it just doesn't fit in this, right? And I already have a use for the notes pages, so I can't write my notes back there, or so my neurotic brain is, right? I just feel like my brain is like that, where if I start the year a certain way, like if I started the year journaling back here, I'm just not gonna start taking notes back there and doing dailies, because that would drive me crazy. Like, I like for everything to look cohesive and like to have almost like the same flow from start to finish. So I just don't like it. But, oh, you can really tell here, right? Like I started taking notes and things just start getting much fuller, and now information just gets omitted from here entirely over and over again, because I just don't have the space to write it in just like the daily slot, so to speak. So I have ideas. I have ideas for next year, which really excite me. In the month of July, I reread the book, The Bullet Journal Method. And what I realized that I've been doing without noticing, so to speak, right, is rapid logging, where I've been I have been, right, like rapid logging or doing dailies, but I'm trying to fit it all in these little spaces. And by the way, if you hear like background noise, that's my dog, as per usual. Yes, so what I've been attempting to do is rapid log and write notes and do all the things in this tiny little section. And what's happening is, like, I just don't have space and information just gets omitted and things are getting not recorded in my planner, which I don't like. Oh, I love the way this was a week that we went to Vermont. And I just wanted to have like memories from each day, and I just did like little bullet points for each day of everything that we did. And it was a good way of having just like a little snap view of what we did for the week. This was a lot of fun. So for next year, things are going to change. Things are going to change for next year, because I'm going to be doing my weekly view for pre-planning, and I'm going to get a mega, and I'm going to do dailies in the back, because everything that I've been doing, I'm like, oh my God, when I was reading the book, The Bullet Journal Method, I'm like, this is what I've been doing. This is what I've been doing. And I've been trying to force it to fit in here. And what happens is that everything that gets done first in the day gets logged, and everything that's getting done towards the end of the day is not getting logged because I don't have space. I don't have anywhere to put it, right? Like sometimes I like squeeze them in over here, but I don't have anywhere to put it. So I'm gonna get a mega. I'm gonna continue to use my weeklies for pre-planning and tasks and whatnot. And then I'm gonna be doing the dailies and the notes and all that. And I'm trying to find a week in particular where I took a bunch of right here. So I have notes here, another note here, another note right here, another note. Like every single day I was just taking notes, and then when I had a task to do, I'm like, oh, where the heck do I put it? Like, because I spent like the entire day just like taking little snippets and notes, and then when it came to writing down my tasks, they had nowhere to go. So I'm excited to have a mega where I can do my pre-planning. So my weeks will probably go back to looking like this, right? Where it's not so crammed and full of words or whatnot, but like it has like what I have to do, kind of like my pre-planning for the week. But like I'll have the notes with the dailies, and I won't have to limit myself. I won't have to limit myself with all that I have to do, or all that I have to write in a day, because that's a lot what's happening. Is just a lot of limiting and cutting and editing and deleting of what I have to write in a day, or what I want to write, not have to write, but what I want to write about in a day. So I'm going back to the mega. And then I still want to cultivate the fact that I've been writing every day. I'm not at work right now, right? Because I work in a school. So I start work next week. But especially when I'm at work, I love doing morning pages. And I did that this year in this green book, right? I did morning pages before I used to go into work, and it was one of my favorite things to do. And if it wasn't morning pages, then I would do my little entry before going to bed. And again, I love that. The one thing would be, right, like I felt like I used this book as a way to get the habit and cultivate the habit. But of course, these boxes a lot of times were much smaller than what I wanted to write. And then there were days where I didn't want to write anything at all, right? I just didn't feel like I was in the headspace to do it. But because the box was there, I felt like I needed to do it because, again, neurotic brain over here, right? So I am just going to get a blank, not just going to get, I have it already, but I'm going to get a blank doc grid notebook, and I'm just going to decorate, and I'll probably end up getting just like a subscription, so it's not decorating that I like need to be super intentional and meticulous about. You know, I just want to have something that I can put in the page, have it pretty, and then just pick up my pen and write whenever I feel like it. And not make it this thing where it's like a project, all right? If it's a project, I'm not gonna do it, and I'm not gonna keep up with it. But I think the thing that I'm most excited about, 150%, by the way, this is my little flip through of August, right? This is, I do themes for every single month. So July was like a camping theme, and then for the month of August, it's like this. I don't know, it kind of reminded me of like the desert, kind of like a desert theme. Very hot climate, which I love. I mean, I don't love hot climate, but I love the theme. No, I'm a winter girl. I'm ready for the winter. Right, so for August, this was my theme. This was last week, and this is this week, right? So I'm very excited for the journal, so I can separate. I'm gonna get rid of the photos because it's really chunking this up, and if I have a mega and I'm putting like 4 or 5 photos in, let me find a spread that could, okay, let's say if I'm doing this in a mega where I'm putting 4 photos into every page, yeah, that's gonna really bulk up my planner, 1, and 2, it's only the month of August. I have 3 more months. Let's see, September, October, November. Yeah, I have 3 more months in here, guys. And this thing is getting so annoying to write in because it doesn't matter if I'm using a pencil board or not, right? Like I can put my pencil board under this, but if there's a photo here when I'm writing, I still feel that bump. So the pencil board does not make the photos go away. It doesn't matter if I'm using a pencil board or not. I still have a bunch of bumps, and it's getting really annoying to write near the spine as well. So this is being a pain in the butt to keep up with. I'm going to keep up with it. I'm going to finish it because, again, I love having all of this filled out. But definitely next year, what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to move the photos to my journal, and then I'll have the dailies in the mega, and hopefully that's what I need. Hopefully I'll have my pre-planning weeklies, like with my tasks. I'll have my dailies with all the notes that I want to take to my heart's desire. And then I will move the photos and journaling together as well so that I don't bulk up my mega. Because, again, I'm a little nervous of how chunky it's going to be. I've never had a mega, right? I always have the standard. And even my standards get, I mean, look at the spine, right? My standards get a little chunky. It's not something ridiculous, but I am a little conscious of the fact that I do like to take my planner with me. I don't take it with me everywhere, but whenever I do take it with me, I want it not to be like this hefty thing. So I am going to be a little bit more conscious of like what I'm pasting in so that I'm not making it extremely bulky. So Yes, Hobonichi launch is next week. Oh my god, next week. It's so exciting. Oh my goodness, guys. I think that they absolutely killed it in their week's lineup this year. Like, I'm so excited. Please let me know which one you're going to be getting for next year, because I think that some years are not great, but this year was a great year. They released a lot of pretty notebooks, so I'm excited. And I can't wait to get my mega, because I have been craving a mega since January. Like, once I started this system, I knew I had screwed up. And I said it in my last video, right? There's no other way to put it. I knew when I started this system, I was like, I'm stuck with it, because y'all, I spent like $400 plus in like all my Hobonichi order and this and all the things that and I was like, yeah, I'm not just gonna be like, oh, this isn't working for me. You know, of course, if you do that, I'm not like throwing shade at you. I'm just saying that I wasn't gonna do that. Because I noticed so early on, and I'm sorry if I'm stuttering a lot. I'm like trying to encapsulate everything, but I noticed so early on, like in January, that this system was not gonna be the best fit. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stick it out, because I need to know what's not working. And I didn't want to like start hopping around and jumping around in different things and not know what wasn't working, right? Because a lot of times you start this quest of, I need to figure out what's going to work. And the reason why you can't figure out what's going to work is because you haven't zeroed in on what's not working for you. And I think that was my goal in staying in my system this year, was like, no, I'm going to stick it out so that I can zero in on what's not working, and then hopefully make better decisions for next year. So please let me know in the comments what you're going to do. Are you going to go with sterling ink? I haven't done sterling ink yet because they don't have hardcovers. I think that's the one thing that's just kind of like kind of keeping me from sterling ink, is that they don't have hardcovers. But honestly, chef's kiss, beautiful colors this year. And she has like such an amazing lineup. Like the A5 horizontal, I was drooling over that thing. But I know that A5 is going to be too large for my bag, so I don't think I would go for an A5 planner anymore, because I used to do 7x9, and I feel like A5, this would be like an A5 size. I feel like that would be a little too large for me to take everywhere with me, but still really enjoying Sterling Ink's reveals. And yeah, so let me know in the comments what you guys are going to be going for. This year I did the stylish gray. I'm still kind of torn with the megas. And then I heard a rumor that they were going to release megas with some patterns. I don't know if there's any truth to that rumor in Instagram, but I'm going to wait till everything's posted on the website to like make my final choice, because I've already changed my mind like 3 times with what color I want in the mega. So let's just yeah, that's all the thoughts that I have, and I hope you guys are enjoying planner season. Let me know in the comments what you're going to be using, and have a awesome day.